Hello, Mr. President Trump, sir. 4-star general. Memorial Day. Pretty interesting choice going to Japan on Memorial Day. Kenny Jameson here. Obsessed over that border in national security. How many we got? What, 17 agencies, Homeland Security and all these? Let's see. So I get this video so it's possible that it may be brought to your attention. We have to use keywords like FEMA, which should be 90% of FEMA. Well, now that the country's underwater in the middle of the country, we've got major emergencies going on. We have weather wars going on here, sir. 400% increase in tornadoes this year. Some of the weather people may not realize that the Gulf of Mexico warms up a lot more than it used to because of the oil base that's there now, the crude. Anyways, not a lot we can do about that, right? Not a lot we can do about Fukushima. I hope you're bringing that to the attention while you're there. I don't even like the idea of you being there because of Fukushima. But what are we going to do? Just keep polluting the Pacific Ocean and having sea lions wash up on shore? Are we doing any testing, radiate to the salmon that are supposed to come upstream there in Washington and Oregon? We're not going to go down the natural disasters. Oh, that's not a natural disaster. What we need, sir, after 2 and almost a half years now, we need you to be the 4-star general that you are. You need to dispatch the U.S. military, not necessarily the National Guard from each state, the U.S. military that carries machine guns to the Mexican border from San Diego clear to Brownsville and back up the Border Patrol. It's an emergency there. You've declared it. We know it. We see it on the news. Why isn't this happening? Who's pressuring you to not secure our border? The cartel? Are we scared of them? The NSA should be there. The DHS should be there. We have enough federal employees. We don't even need the military. Just your agencies, your paper pushers at these agencies. All right, let's get off that and get into surveillance in America, the Patriot Act. That we were all surveyed. Look into Snowden there that had to go to Russia because we were so embarrassed on what he'd found out. And the guy that reported it there in England that we're going to try to assassinate for treason or something because he got classified emails and published them. Wow. Is that sad? There, I'm blanking out here. Maybe they're watching me. I'm not even on the app. I'm on my camera making it. I'm not making a live YouTube. And then I'll post it. So why this thing's shorting out? It's probably made in China. Keep up the pressure on China and run them all the way out of our country and take back all the corporate farms that they had bought in the 80s in Iowa, Nebraska, Missouri, Oklahoma. Maybe that's why they're flooding it. Some people believe that's why they were burning California, because they owned such a large portion of California. One of Obama's last things in office, taking 1 million acres and making it a national monument. Because from the word is, Hillary put all of our national lands, federal parks, national, in out west, it's a large percentage of land is federal land. The Bureau of Land Management, that's a whole nother issue. Up for collateral against China in our loans. And they don't want our printed money back for the trillions of dollars that they've loaned us, supposedly. Something about the balance of the trade. I mean, you know how it works. You have to bond money to buy products from China, to buy a container load through the United Nations, through maritime law. You know how all that works, right? That's what that $150 billion went back to Iran for, because they had bonded money. When they put the sanctions on them, we weren't allowed to trade, and they had $150 billion in our country, in our banks, that they put a hold on, and Obama gave them back their money. So they'll let them buy big airplanes. and gut them out and make bombers out of them. They've got quite an Air Force. It's worth showing just how that's a long ways from here. Yes, we have to protect Israel. That's the foundation to our Christianity. There's no doubt about it. You know, can you do that with some satellites and some drones and put our manpower, our boots on the ground down on the Mexican border? 30,000 people keeping Korea safe? How many soldiers are over there in Japan where you're at? We have our American soldiers stretched out they don't stretch them out at the border. They group them up in groups of 100, 300. They don't want to get overrun. They're just doing a police action on the border. But BS. Shoot at their feet. Tell them to go back. You're not allowed to get off. You can swim in the Rio Grande, but you can't come out on our side. Humanitarian. We got to pick them up and take them to the doctor and get them vaccinations and feed their kids and get them diapers. No, 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 no. Go back. Mexico don't want to cooperate with us? Whew. They need to stop them at their border. Those people need to grow their own dang vegetables. They're good farmers down there. They grow easy. They're in the tropics. They have fruit trees all down in there. Now, if Nicaragua and El Salvador needs some police action to clean up this drug cartel like Mexico needs it, you know how many people were murdered in Mexico from the drug cartel? There's a war going on there. A major 100,000 people murdered. People go, oh, retire to Mexico. It's safe down there. Yeah, right. When you're desperate, you do desperate things. And the United States is desperate, and we're asking you as a 4-star general to dispatch 50,000, 100,000 boots on the ground all along that border, intimate domain, the first 100 yards. Take a bulldozer and clean out so you can see the Rio Grande from one end to the other. There's some rough terrain there that's going to be hard to fence. You don't need no wall. What's the sense of having a wall if you don't have boots on the ground? You got a guy in a pickup truck that'll show up an hour later. Yeah, we got to process them. Yeah, in the meantime, there's people in Jersey getting killed by illegals. There's people all over the country. It's going to end up like South Africa. They're just going to start occupying farms in Iowa. And the neighbors are going to be going, hey, Mexicans must have bought that farm. What happened to John? What did he do? Moved to Arizona? He never told me. Jeez, are you serious? Tighten things up, buddy. 4-star general. Thank you, sir, for doing the best you can, but it's not the Congress's fault. They need to appropriate the money. The money's already been appropriated. You're a 4-star general. You have a 1,000,000-man army. Stop some of these advisors from telling you, well, we got to have 30,000 in Korea. Jeez. 20,000 in Japan. We got to send, how many thousand are we going to send to Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan and Libya? And we've got to manipulate and control all these other countries. And we're not taking care of. You don't need a passport to come into the United States. We're the most uncivilized country in the world. The elite rich don't care. People you're rubbing elbows with, they're getting along fine. They just don't see the big picture like you do, sir. Dispatch the military to the border and stop it. Please. Thank you. NSA, DHS, Homeland Security, FEMA, all those keywords might get you to watch my videos. This one here might not be the best. A couple years ago I was asking for this. Why wouldn't you put the boots on the ground? What you said, 5,000 down there? Wow. We need 50,000 minimum. 100,000 would be better. Occupy our own border. Wow. It's a no-brainer. Bye.